G'day, welcome back to the Fantasy Farmers Podcast. I'm Kale, that's Taff, and we're going to get into the Week 4 review of the 2025 season. So we're going to do it a bit different this week. So instead of going through all the games one by one, we're going to do 5 key takeaways each and then some buys, sells and holds before some waiver wire pickups. So we can get straight into it. Taff, what is your first takeaway?
Yes, keen to get into it. It was a good week. My key takeaway was from today's game. I think you got to go and buy Rashee Rice while you still can. So he obviously hasn't come back yet. But just watching today's game, we saw what Xavier Worthy was able to do in that offense. And I think Rashee Rice is a much, much better receiver than Xavier Worthy. I think he's going to have a way bigger impact. If he's available, go and try and trade for him. Sorry.
Couldn't agree more.
I'm sort of. I think he's a top 10 wide receiver rest of the way. So that's sort of the value I'm putting on him.
No, I agree. But mainly if your record is 4-0 or 3-1, I'd be doing it. If you're 0-4 or 1-3, I wouldn't be going for it.
That's 100%. If you can afford to do it with your record, that's a big sort of addition to that as well.
Agree. My first takeaway is the Ravens' offense. So Lamar, bit of a hamstring niggle. I think they kept him out of the game more so because the Chiefs were winning by so much, so they didn't want to risk it. But if he does miss time, the whole Ravens' offense will suffer. So Henry, Flowers, Andrews, if you're starting him, or expect lesser production from all of them, particularly Henry, because he relies on that positive game strip that they need to be up for him to get the massive workload.
100%. I agree. All those players take a big dip. Henry especially. I think Cooper Rush. He's going to have his target. I think he's going to find. We'll find out. I think next week who his favourite target is going to be. They're potentially sort of a very buy low. My suspicion is Andrews. I think he's going to. There'll be a lot of short yardage. But I think most Ravens players are going to take a very, very big dip in value. D Hop, Rashad Bateman.
All the fringe players.
You can drop them basically. Just keep an eye out on who's sort of getting those targets, and especially how long Lamar's going to be gone with a hamstring injury and a rushing quarterback. It could be a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. They got the Houston, the Rams, and then the bye. So potentially, if they can push him through, then maybe he comes back after the bye. But they are in a position where they're 1-3. They need to win games now. So depends on which way they go for it. But either way, they're either going to rush him back or be without him. So either way, I think the offense takes a dip.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. I think Cooper Rush is a solid backup quarterback. I think. Did you say the Texans they were playing?
Texans, yeah. So
I think they won't rush him back for the Texans.
No. Maybe the Rams following up.
The Rams.
But then you got the bye, so
the Rams will be tough.
Rams looking good.
All right.
Your second.
My second takeaway. So my second takeaway, pretty obvious one. If you're sort of keeping up to date, if Jaylen Warren misses any time, Kenneth Gainwell is he's a must start. He's a high end RB2, low end RB1. He's managed to put up these big numbers against a very, very good defense.
Minnesota,
So if Jaylen Warren misses any time going forward, you've got to start him. And if he's available, go and chuck him on your bench. I think he's a ripper handcuff. That's sort of my next takeaway. And then Caleb Johnson as well in that backfield. If he's rostered, drop him. There's no point. So sort of having him.
It doesn't look like this year is going to be his year at all.
He had his opportunity and he did nothing with it. Unfortunately, you probably drafted him pretty high. He went in the 6th round in our league.
I think that was pretty standard. I was pretty keen on him in the 6th round actually. So it's a funny one.
So I think you can very safely drop him now.
Although I would say in Dynasty, he's maybe a really good buy low. In most of the off-season, he probably would have been drafted late 1st round in your 12-team league. So potentially you could send a 3rd round pick for him now and pick him up and then see what he turns into next year.
I agree. Definitely. All right. Your second takeaway?
Yes. So my second takeaway is the Buffalo running back room. only 2 opportunities between Ty Johnson and Davis. So I think it was one each. All the rest of it, about 25 or so, went to Cook. So his workload is going through the roof compared to last year. He's now the RB5 for me on the season. I've got CMC at 1. I think Bijan at 2, Taylor at 3. I'm still sneaking Hampton in there at 4, and then Cook at 5 for me. I think that's my top 5.
I definitely, I can see it. I think he's 100% locked in top 10. Top 5, I'm not 100%. I'd need to have a good think about that.
Yeah.
But I think he's definitely a top 10 sort of player. Most people drafted him in the 3rd, 4th round.
Late 3rd or 4th. Yeah, I
you're
got him
very, very happy
early
with that.
4th. So
yeah, you're happy with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I was dead wrong about him. I thought
once he signed the contract, I think we're both keen on him in the mid to late 3rd. So
I still didn't think he was going to be this good.
Yeah,
I thought there was going to be some sort of regression.
Yeah, I thought the touches would go up, but the touchdowns would go down.
Yeah.
But they're both touchdowns basically stay the same, and touches are way up, more than I expected.
Yeah. So I was dead wrong with Cook this season. So you're very happy if you picked him up.
I will say that I think the last 2 games in particular, where they played Miami and the Saints, they're probably teams they should blow out of the water a bit more, and then that's when the other 2 RBs will get more involved to, save the energy of Cook in particular. But both teams stayed in the game longer than expected, so it meant they needed to keep relying on Cook to be in the backfield to be getting the touches. So maybe in the future with more higher scoring blowout games, which, as you mentioned at the start of the year, Bill was predicted to win every single game according to the, what do you call that? The sports betting.
It's just Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas. Yeah. So if they do start to blow out teams a bit more, I think he will see a reduced workload, but it's probably meaning he's scored a touchdown and had a couple of long runs anyway. So
I think regardless of gameplay, he's going to have 15 plus.
Yeah, I think 15 plus. In the close games, he'll be 20 plus.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, he's an awesome player.
Yeah. Your 3rd, I think.
My 3rd, and then after this, where you reckon beer review?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. My 3rd one, Falcons players finally come through. So your Drake Londons, your Cole Pitts. Bijan was already looking pretty solid.
Yeah, but he just had a monster,
But he's had a monster game. I'm taking... So you're very happy with this, but I'm using this as a platform to go and sell Drake London if I've got him.
Yep.
I think, so you can use it. He's scored well. Darnell Mooney's gone down. You can use all those sort of things to say, hey, look, he's going to be really good rest of the season.
Yep.
I'm going to go and target a Rashee Rice or a CD Lamb.
Yep.
Especially if the owner has a losing record and I've got a winning record.
Definitely.
But
what about someone that's not injured at the moment? Is there someone you could see yourself moving for?
So you're probably taking Drake London end of the first, start of the second.
Yeah.
You wouldn't really want any player that's going to fall below that in a draft now.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
It's a tough one. Yeah.
It is a tough one. It just sort of depends on your roster at the minute. But you definitely want either a wide receiver 1 or an RB 1.
Yeah.
But someone that's going to be a little bit more consistent.
Yeah.
I think the big problem with London is going to be he's going to have a lot more games similar to the first few weeks than this game. I think he's going to have a lot of down weeks.
Yeah.
And then every now and then he might win you one. So that's why I'm sort of looking to sell. Just get someone that's a bit more consistent. That'd be my big thing there. And then in the same game, I suppose Tyler Algier, he's still just a ripper handcuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's probably the number 1 out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
In saying that that's the Washington schedule.
They do have a good schedule,
but they're on bye this week, so it might be hard to sell, especially to a team with a Lamb or a Rice because they're missing them anyway this week. But maybe after that, then Buffalo, San Fran, Miami, New England.
Yeah, so they got a couple.
Not too bad.
Yeah, they got some good matchups coming up.
Yeah.
And then especially if you manage to, usually I like to buy players after their bye.
So do I. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sort of. I'd be looking to sell. Just get someone who's more consistent.
Yeah, I agree. Okay.
All right. And your 3rd takeaway for this week?
Yeah, so my 3rd one, I think one of them's obvious, but another one's just emerged. So if your players that are in flex consideration, they're playing either the Cowboys or the Titans, I think you can put them straight into your lineup.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Cowboys, yeah. So they've been thrillers nearly every week. Big players like Romeo Dobbs just scored a hat trick.
Yeah.
No one had that on the bingo card.
No one.
And then also the Titans. Having a bit of a blank now as to who they even versed.
The Texans. I think
Texans,
it's 26-0.
Yeah, and we just had Woody Marks
Yeah.
go off, so also not on the bingo card.
Yeah. It was 26-0.
Yeah, so didn't even score in this game. So if there are any players in flex consideration and they're playing these teams, like for example, I've got Benson in our main league next week and he's playing the Titans. He's 100% going in my starting lineup. Even I think he was not bad this week with 10 points against a tough defense in Seattle. I think he could have a breakout game against the Titans.
Yep, I agree. I've got nothing to add there. I agree with everything. Cowboys defense and the Titans defense.
So, and one thing even to add on to that, maybe it opens up a little bit of a buy low opportunity in the hope that they have a really big game against either the Cowboys or the Titans, and then potentially you can look to move them on for slightly more the following week.
Yeah, wheel and deal.
Yeah, wheel and deal, yeah.
Yeah. But I think
we go into a lovely
beer review.
Yep.
Very good.
So this week, so another
bolter.
Bolter. I forget where it's from.
I think it's Geelong, mate.
Yeah.
Be. No idea.
Yeah. But this one's called Captain Sensible. So
that was way off with Queensland.
Captain Sensible, so I think they named it after you.
It's a mid-strength. I think that's why. Because you're being sensible.
Yeah. That's probably right.
It is a mid-strength, 3.5%, one standard drink.
Oh, that is nice.
Okay.
That is easy drinking. It's like a mid-strength pale ale.
Oh, no. I thought it was just a regular midi.
Well, you might disagree. I don't know. Mid-strength pale ale?
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
Having said that, it is definitely a pale ale.
Yeah. I like it. I really like it.
But it's not as bad as other ones.
That is.
This one might actually grow.
That is really sensible. That's nice. A little bit fruity, but not a massive kick that you normally get from the pale ales. So I'll probably give that. That's a solid 5.5 Tom Brady Super Bowl rings out of 7.
If they were free at a wedding and the only option, I'd probably drink them. Outside of that, I'm probably not going to go him away.
Okay. So what are you giving it? It's normally you're either a 1 or a 7.
3's I want to say 2.5, but I want a whole number, so I'm going to say 2.
I've been saying a lot of halves, so
I'm going to say 2.
All right. Well, if you're going to say it, well, then I'll round one up. I'm going to go 6.
6?
Yeah, I was.
You reckon this is a Matzo's?
Good point. No, 5.
Yeah, okay.
You convinced me. Yeah, 5.
Yeah, 2.
No, that's nice.
It's not actually that bad.
Yeah.
It's growing on me.
Yeah. So we've moved the screen around a bit, so you can't really see it, but if you want your beer on the pod.
If you want your beer here.
Hit us up.
Watch us get sued.
For what? Giving them shit reviews?
Cease and desist.
Maybe. All right. We can move along?
Yes, we can. All right, back into it. So my fourth big takeaway, I thought Kendra Miller, his usage, it all came pretty late in the game, bit of a blowout.
Yep.
But I think it's a sign of things to come. I think he's going to start working in a little bit more.
Okay. He was a high draft pick from memory.
He was.
Around 2 or 3
a
couple of years ago.
Two sort of player. So I can see an Alvin Kamara trade incoming.
Well, there's been a few rumours, has there not?
There has. I think he'll be on another team by week 7.
Week 7, yeah. So if he is, then...
Because if they're going to keep losing games, why do you keep him?
Yeah. You get him off, try and get a draft pick or something.
They'll still get something for him now.
Yeah.
Especially going to a win now team.
Yep.
In need of a running back.
So the only problem is, so Kendra will then become the one, but it's on probably the worst offense in the league.
That's why he's probably one of my waiver priorities at the minute.
Okay.
Probably, like, I say priority, but I'll probably put him at 3rd, just depending on what my list looks like.
Yep.
But yeah, I think he's gonna week 7. I reckon he'll be the starter. And if there's a starting running back on waivers, you're gonna grab him regardless of what
definitely,
game you're on. But yeah, and if I've got to pick a team where I think Kamara goes, I think he ends up at the Chargers.
Yeah, it's either them or the Chiefs, where I've heard the rumours. So if he does end up at the Chargers, that really going to hurt Hampton.
Oh, it'll basically kill Hampton.
Yeah. That's
I
a
think,
difficult one, actually.
I think my thing there is they like having two running backs, and do they want to run Hampton by himself basically for the rest of the season?
Mm.
And I think Kamara, you could probably bring him in on next to nothing. You probably wouldn't pay too much.
Probably third downs.
And they're a very win now team.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he'd be a ripper addition there as well.
Yeah, agree.
But that's sort of my bold prediction. My key takeaway: Kendra Miller sort of looks to take over this backfield, and Alvin Kamara gets traded.
Yep. I can definitely see it happening. I think at the Chiefs he would be unreal, so it doesn't ruin Hampton obviously for me. But I can see him definitely getting traded. Okay, so moving on for me, the next key takeaway is another one of my rookies that I really liked. So Henderson. So the New England backfield. It's still a three-way split. I thought this would have been Hendo's breakout game, or at least a game where he got the most usage. But I think Stevenson still had about 60% of the snaps, which I was very surprised at after the two fumble game.
Did you see what Vrabel said about it though?
They didn't want to just throw him on the streets after the two fumbles.
Yeah, he was not going to get punished for it.
Okay.
Yeah, he came out saying to reporters there will be no punishment, and he stuck true to that.
Okay, and they won this game by a healthy margin. You still got the 12 points, Henderson. So someone like me, I put him in my lineup. You still get a decent return, but it's really the touchdown that saved him. And really, all of them are not startable unless they score a touchdown. So he's going to have to go back out of your lineups. But I still think by the week 8 or 9 mark, he will be never going to be a bell cow now with the other guys' usage. But I think he can still average and get the receptions. He gets 2 receptions this game. I think he's going to get a lot more receptions going into the future. And he should, by week 8 or 9, have a floor of, I would say, about this 12.
Okay. Yeah, I think they're all sits.
Yeah, definitely sits, but definitely the buy low window I thought would have shut, but it's still open.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. I definitely wouldn't be going and paying too much at all because it's very predictable.
No. If you can send one of your performing bench players for him and keep him as a stash, that's what I'd be doing.
Yeah, it's a bench player for a bench player, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. That brings us to our fifth and final key takeaway.
Yep.
All right. So my fifth takeaway is Woody Marks. It looks like he's taken over.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb was looking pretty sort of lackluster, and Woody Marks has just come out swinging. He's looking pretty good.
Yep.
If you've picked him up off of waivers last week, you definitely need to do it this week.
Yep.
But on top of that, Joe Mixon. I've not heard
not a whisper
anything about Joe Mixon. Yep. So last I saw he was hitting the PUP list before the season started.
Yeah, well that's a month ago now.
Yeah, so I'm just interested now to see.
I don't think he plays. I don't think he plays.
Yeah,
they're having a shocking season as well. So
they haven't said anything about his return. Will he play this season? That's sort of what I'm thinking now.
I think not.
But if there is nothing, I think Woody Marks is going to be a ripper. I think he's going to be potentially last year's Bucky Irving.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll keep up this production, but yeah, he could get to a 60. Well, I think it was about 55-45 this game in terms of snap share. If he gets close to 70, and he's going to get the receptions like he does in this game,
he's locked in starter.
Yeah, he will be. Yeah, you probably can't expect the touchdowns like this every week because, as we said, the Texans isn't a great offense. They've obviously just come up against a shocking Titans team. But yeah, he could definitely be a flex play during the bye weeks for sure.
Yeah, yep. With buys coming up, I think throughout the season, I think you could just throw him in your flex and just forget about it, really. Yeah.
So would you put him in your lineup straight away next week?
Who have the Texans got? Probably,
Just trying to find that out. Let's have a quick look.
Unless it's like a really, really tough defense, I'm throwing him in.
Baltimore.
Oh, actually, no, I would because they've been decimated on their defense.
Yeah.
And
it's a heavy.
Pacheco had a good game against them.
Yeah, it's a heavy bye week this week. I think there's 4 or 6 teams.
Yeah. In flex. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yep.
You're probably going to get 10. You could get 15.
Yep.
I think that's sort of
the potentially could have a floor now of about 10.
Yeah, I think that's sort of
especially with the catches in PPR.
Yeah, 10 to 15. I think.
Yep.
Will be.
I agree. I like that. I like that take. And then the fifth takeaway for me, it's probably not so much something for now, but something for my draft style going into the future, something I was sort of already doing, is based on the tight end performances this year, should not be drafting an early tight end and definitely not a mid-round tight end, because we're looking Warren, Ferguson, Kraft have all been top guys so far and are probably ranked in the top 5, you'd say. And even like Hunter Henry off waivers, Zach Ertz off waivers.
Yep.
I mean, he's probably only had one good week, Ertz, but it's because Daniels has been out.
Still a top 12 tight end, I think.
Yeah. So McBride is probably still there. I think he's the undisputed one now. Bowers is probably lucky to probably still be considered the number 2.
I don't think he is the number 2 anymore.
You think?
I think you could put
Probably Warren.
Yeah, I think Warren's above him. Even Ferguson at the minute is above him.
Yeah, I think I
Or
would.
CD Lamb's out. I think Ferguson.
Yeah, I would still take Bowers because I think he can turn it around, and they've shown this offense. They do like to air it out when they can. The massive game Geno had a few weeks ago. But yeah, I think definitely going into the future, I will not be drafting tight ends probably before round 9.
I learned that one last season when I drafted Andrews.
Yeah, I think the one good pick I had Kittle this year in the late 4th, and the injury doesn't help. But other than I would say no one. The earliest tight end that's been good is Warren, and he was probably around 9 pick.
Yeah, yep.
He's actually returned value. McBride, even that drafting him in the late 2nd, early 3rd, he hasn't returned that value.
No, where you drafted him, like you've paid overs really.
Yeah, I think he's averaged somewhere between 10 to 15. It's just not enough for that capital.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our main takeaways. Let us know if there was anything else that we've missed. Otherwise, we can get into the buys.
All right, my buys. I've only got 3. So I'll just fire them off.
Yep.
So I've got Rashee Rice, like I just mentioned.
I've also got him, so we can maybe talk on that a bit. So, like you said, if you're 0 or 1, 4 and 0, 3 and 1, I'd definitely target him.
Yeah, go and grab him.
But if you're in a 0 and 4 position,
do not go and grab him.
Yeah. But if you have him and you're 0 and 4, do you sell or do you try and hold on?
I'd hold. I think if I get to 5 and 0, that's when I look to sell.
But then you're selling with 1 game left.
Still, I think at that point, if you're at 4 and 0, you're basically at 5 and 0. You might as well just hold, because things might turn around. You might win every game moving forward.
Yeah. Probably unlikely if you're already like that, but
still, I'll hold him at that point. If next week, I've lost again.
I think Rice I would hold because I'm super high on him.
Yeah.
But one that I've got in a similar category is Kittle. He's due to come back from IR next week. But myself, we've obviously done a trade in our league.
Yep.
I am 0 and 4. Not started well with a few injuries and underperforming players.
Just overall draft.
Yeah. So basically, the main trade was Kittle for Ferguson. So obviously, Ferguson, I believe, is the tight end one to start the year.
Yep.
And so expect when Kittle comes back, he'll be better. I'm assuming, and Ferguson maybe drops off a bit.
Yep.
But I think if you are in 0 and 4 team, Ferguson is a good target, especially if I'm assuming that team is probably looking quite good in your league that has Ferguson. So if you can send Kittle to him until Lamb comes back, I'm betting Ferguson will probably still be a top 3 to top 5 tight end.
Targets,
he's just going to get peppered.
He's going to get all the CD.
And even he was getting peppered with Lamb.
Yeah, he's the number 2 option there. But I think he's the number 1 option with Lamb. Yeah.
Correct. So that's if you're on the losing side of things, I think that's a decent trade because Ferguson is probably nearly potentially on waivers at the start of the year.
I think I picked him up in the 9th or the 10th.
Okay. So it
was very late,
mid to late round.
Yeah.
So the person that has him, I think they would jump at the opportunity to get Kittle for him.
Yeah. I agree.
And obviously he'll give you the production now as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can go into my first buy. So it's a little bit of a funny one. It's similar to what I just mentioned before with the players coming up against the Cowboys. So Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall from the Jets, they're coming up against Dallas next week. So they're little soft buys for me.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. So I think especially Wilson might be a bit hard because he's coming off the back of a 20-point game and then he's got Miami tomorrow or probably by the time you've seen this today. But if he has a semi-down game against Miami, I'd be trying to get him in a trade because he's going to have a massive week against Dallas, I'm assuming. But then you've got to immediately get off him because they play Denver, and he'll get Patrick Surtain. So
Yeah.
probably a tough position. But the one I'm probably more keen on is Brees Hall. I think he could be in for multiple touchdowns this game.
Yeah, I could see it as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially
We just
obviously
had
we just
three
had
Dubs. So
Dubs and
Yeah, I
Josh
think-
Jacobs just had a 20.
Josh Jacobs did not stop running.
Yeah,
Even
28
their
points, I
backup
think.
Wilson looked awesome.
Yeah. So
yeah, I can definitely see Brees
so I can see Brees doing really well.
really well.
Yeah.
Yep. Unfortunately.
Okay, so that's my first buy.
Yep. All right. My second buy, Tet McMillan.
I've also got him.
Yeah, I think rookie wide receivers, we've seen it, I don't know how many times. They only ramp up throughout the season.
Yep.
He's getting 8+ targets every single game.
Yep, hasn't gone under yet.
I think those targets, there a lot of them. You look at if you look at just the stats here, you might have 4 receptions on 8 targets, but the 4 that he's missed, they've probably been terrible passes.
Yeah.
I think that's why he's missing a lot of those. So as soon as Bryce Young sort of connects on those passes a little bit better,
Yeah, it takes a little bit of rapport.
yeah,
between
once they get
teammates.
the chemistry going a bit more, I think he's going to be really, really good.
So
I think he's going to have 8+. I think his touchdowns are probably going to go up. They're going to be playing from behind.
Yeah, well, he hasn't scored a touchdown yet, and he's sort of floating around the floor of. I think he's averaging around the 10 points probably at the moment.
Yeah,
But I expect that to go up.
Yeah.
And I've got him as a buy as well.
Yeah,
And
so
he actually
I think it'd be good.
similar to that, he plays Miami next week and then Dallas the week after. So
Yeah.
that's why
Good
I really like him.
The
Yeah.
Panthers, they've just got a good schedule. I think it's pretty rough
I
defenses.
think in your analysis that you did, Panthers had the number 1 wide receiver schedule.
Yeah, Panthers Panthers were number 1, I think. I remember they were very high up. The Falcons were pretty high up as well. I remember the Bengals were dead last. They had the worst.
Okay.
Yeah, the Bengals had the worst
good,
one for wide receivers. That's why I've traded it out on Chase.
Yeah.
Because I knew how bad their one was going to be. But the Panthers had a good schedule. Their DBs that they were going up against were pretty lackluster.
Okay. Yeah. So actually, he's already 8+ targets each week. I can see it potentially getting as high as once the season finishes. He's averaged 11 for the year.
Yeah, he's getting hyper focused.
He's going to get some more touchdown work. This offense is only going to improve, I think. So, he is a good buy right now.
Oh, God.
Yeah. All right, so I'll get into my next one. All right, so my next buy, we mentioned a little bit before, but Derrick Henry. I really like the matchup next up against Houston. Even if it is Cooper Rush, I like this matchup. The Rams after it, I would not like as much. But then after the bye, the Ravens have a great schedule, and they should win essentially every game. The only bad defense they come up against is Browns in Week 11, and I think they should still win that game, but it might be a bit tougher for the run game. And then they do have the Packers in Week 17, but as we've said, we're thinking they might be a little bit suspect after Week 3 and 4. But other than that, they're all bottom 10 run defenses, and all games that Baltimore should win as long as Lamar is back and healthy.
Yeah.
If he's not, then potentially a different story. But so the manager that's got Henry out there, he's probably not too flash hot. If you've got a positive record and can afford to maybe cop a couple of bad games with Henry if Lamar is not there, he's a great buy heading after his buy and for the rest of the season and playoffs as well.
Yeah, nice.
That's all I'll say on that. Yep.
All right, my last buy. I got Quentin Johnson for the Chargers.
Hey?
Yeah. I think he's wide receiver 5 or 6 at the minute.
Yeah.
And he is the number 1 option for Justin Herbert. I thought Week 1 was an anomaly. I didn't think it was going to keep happening.
Yeah.
They've had tough matchups since, and every single week he's looking like the number 1 sort of receiver there.
Well, what would I wouldn't even know. What would you have to give up to get him, you think?
I think because he was a waiver pickup, a lot of people sort of don't put value on them.
Yeah, I agree.
I've said in the past, like when I picked up Puka, Rashee Rice in that first season where they both popped off, Tank Dell had all 3 of them.
Yeah.
I couldn't give them away because they were waiver pickups.
Yeah, no one wanted to.
No one could get past the fact that I got them for free.
Yeah.
So I think if someone's got that similar mindset of it's a waiver pickup, I might go trade him for an AJ Brown or
would you have him above AJ Brown?
Well, he's performing more than AJ Brown. He's averaging 20 plus points a game.
Yeah,
He's averaging double.
But if you give up an
Brown is.
AJ Brown, the reason I didn't go for him on waivers is I thought it was a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not now, but I expect. I do see it dropping off at some stage.
Well, I think if I'm offering AJ Brown, we'll use him as the example. I'll go on offer AJ Brown for Quinton Johnson, and then I'll have a look at who his RB2 is, and I'll try and go on. I'll go and grab 2 players off him. That's what I'm going to try and do, just off namesake.
Yeah,
and the fact that he's used a second round pick for this waiver pickup.
Yep.
That I think that's something you could probably do.
Yeah, I could see that.
But yeah, I think he's pretty much locked in. I think he's got.
Well, I think
what we thought Lad McConkey was going to be is Quinton Johnson.
Yeah, I think from some analysis or listening to some ex pros, he was getting open last year. Like if you watch some of he was getting open a lot last year. But he's a great route runner, but it was the hands that were the problem.
Yep.
He couldn't catch it, so Herbert wasn't looking his way a lot, but he is catching it this year. Is the main difference, and that means rather than getting his 2 to 4 targets like he was last year, he's
getting 10.
Yeah, he's getting 10 because he's not always open, but he's open a lot. Great route runner, and now he's catching it and turning it into yards.
Yeah, he's got the size. He's got the speeds. Now he's got the hands for it. So and he was a first round pick from memory.
Yeah. I think from memory that draft it went it was 4 receivers in a row in like the middle of the round. I think JSN, Johnston, Flowers, and Addison were all back-to-back picks.
Yeah, so they've put some pretty they've put a lot of
big draft capital.
Big draft capital into
him. He's that sort of ex wide receiver, 6'4", very similar in that regard to Nico Collins.
Yep.
And Nico was a 3rd-year breakout, I think, as a round 3 wide receiver pick in the draft.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 3rd-year breakout for wide receivers is rather common. So this might be the breakout year.
Yeah, and with Justin Herbert thrown to him.
Yeah, great quarterback.
Quarterback. So I think, I wouldn't really worry about him being a waiver player. Get past that. The draft, when we drafted to now, the whole draft board is going to look completely different. So sort of,
you can't get too caught up on that now. Yeah. Some people still do, and they won't make the trades. Like another one I'm going to mention is Ladd. I sort of have him as a soft buy because I can't see it being this bad for the rest of the year.
Yep.
I think
he's a low end wide receiver too.
Yeah, I think Allen either drops off a bit, or I don't know. 13 targets this last week for Johnston. Maybe that drops down to 10.
I think Ladd did still have a handful of targets. He only caught 1.
6 this week, and all the other weeks were above that.
Yeah.
But I have him as a soft buy. So if you can try and send a bench player that's performing well and get him, it might be a bit tough. You might need to add something else on top because the person would have used a 2nd or a 3rd round pick to get him. So yeah, it's that draft pick value that people don't want to give up on again. But yeah, he's a soft buy for me, but I wouldn't break the bank for him.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
Yep. Okay. So that's the buys.
All right. Kicking off our sells. What players we're selling if we've got them? Tony Pollard is my very tippy top for sells.
Yep, he's actually my number 1 too.
Yeah, Tajay Spears coming back. He hasn't really done a whole lot with the main role, with the workhorse role.
Yep.
And he's on the Titans.
Great.
So there's a whole lot playing against him. So sell Tony Pollard what you can.
Yeah.
So, I doubt anyone's going to buy it. You're probably not going to get much back for him.
If you can try and package him with a wide receiver that might have just had a decent week, at least above 10 points, maybe you can move from him slightly up to a different RB2. Like maybe could you go Pollard and Addison and get Scatterboo maybe?
Are you accepting that if you've got Scatterboo?
If I need the extra starter, maybe I've got some capital in quarterback and tight end, and I need an extra flex play.
I don't think there's a world where I accept it.
Yeah, well, I would obviously prefer Scatterboo, but potentially that's something that a manager out there would like because if you go back to the draft, both of them players are above Scatterboo in the draft.
Yeah.
So some people get caught up on that, and
I don't know. I think go and get a comparable running back if you can.
Maybe would you send Pollard for Marks? Maybe that's a good one.
I would, yeah.
Yep.
I would. If you can, get Marks, if you can get
I
even
think
like a wide receiver 3. If I can get Addison for Pollard, I'm definitely going to do it. Even just a straight up.
Addison for Pollard.
Yep.
Okay.
Definitely.
So I'm looking to get rid of Addison. So
Yeah, that'd be my first move.
Okay.
That's if you want Pollard.
No.
Do you want Pollard?
No, he's on my sell list.
Yeah. So if I've got Pollard, I'm going to go and try to pick up.
and
Addison's a good
if
one.
you're going to get Pollard and Pickens, I mean Pickens have been good. If you're going to get them two for Puka, would you do that?
No.
Yeah.
I think if that trade was going to happen, the commission would probably step in and say, "Hey, what's going on here?"
Yeah, you'd nearly consider collusion, wouldn't you?
Especially not collusion.
Especially if the people that did it are related.
Not collusion. I don't think collusion. I think you'd sort of be saying, "Hey, what's going on? What's happened here?"
Yeah, you would want to hope that they're not related. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
So here was my first sell as well. I'll go to my second. It's a big one. It's a big boy. It's Saquon Barkley. It's my sell. I think.
Sell.
I think the touchdown saved him this week, and he's still been relatively all right point scoring, but he just does not look the same as last year. And AJ Brown was on Twitter having a bit of a sook, saying that what did he say? They say they don't want you, but
Quietly
step back. So either he gets traded. I don't see that happening. I don't think they'd want to get rid of him. So I think they look to throw it a bit more the next few weeks. But they
don't need to.
But yeah, for me, he just hasn't looked as good as last year.
Yeah, Barkley.
So I'd be looking to try and move on. You should be able to get a haul back. Like if you can go and get another,
definitely get a haul back. Yeah.
Another. No, not Brees Hall. Sorry,
a
haul of players. So
I thought you were saying Brees Hall.
If you can get it,
you'd probably want a bit more than Brees Hall.
Yeah, I'd have him around RB 6 or 7. If you can get back like a late RB 1, like maybe like a Kyron and then a very solid wide receiver 2. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, maybe like a Kyron and an Adams.
Jeez. If I'm selling Barkley,
maybe you probably want a bit more than that. Actually,
yeah, you want a whole lot more than that. I think.
Actually, a 1-for-1. I'd go to Hampton for sure. I'd go to Cook for sure.
I wouldn't go to Hampton. I've got Barkley over Cook.
Okay.
I wouldn't be selling him at the minute.
I
wouldn't be selling him. I think 10 points is his minimum.
But my problem is I think he's going to be close to his minimum a lot more than his maximum.
Yeah. It's hard with the Eagles. I think they're either going to throw the ball or run the ball. And the fantasy.
Is there any other options?
Well, no. Most teams, they'll do both. But the Eagles, they just seem to be, they're either running it or they're throwing. That's it. Like they do not sort of, you're either got the receivers doing well, fantasy-wise, or the running backs. And it's hurting fantasy teams, because, I mean, they're winning, so it's good for the Eagles.
Yeah.
See, I think that's going to be the biggest problem there. All these players are going to be very boom or bust, but I think Saquon's probably the safest out of all of them.
Yeah, I just worry he's going to be close to his floor a lot more than his ceiling. He definitely will still have the ceiling games because he's Saquon Barkley, but rather than averaging above 20 like he did last year, I'm thinking it might be closer to 16 maybe.
Yeah.
Which if you can go out and get someone that is going to average 16 and get an extra piece on top, I'd like that.
Yeah. Okay. Depending on my roster, I could see myself doing it.
Yeah. All right. Over to your second sell.
That's right. I don't need to go too much. My next one, Drake London. I've touched on him earlier.
Yep.
I think he's definitely good. I think he's definitely going to have a lot of good weeks. I think you can just probably trade him now for someone who's going to be a bit more consistent.
Yep.
Especially if you've got a losing record, you don't want to be relying on these boom games when there's going to be a lot of bust games.
Yep.
That'd be my one. But at the same time, I'm not selling him cheap.
Agree. Yep.
You want a little bit back as you normally would. But I'm not selling him cheap.
Yep.
When I say I'm going to sell him,
I like it. He's probably more of a hold for me, but I can see the reasoning for sure. Yeah, because he hasn't been good to start the year. Yeah. My next sell is Chubbard from the Panthers. A bit of a split this game. I'm not sure if it's because they were down by so much so early on, but Dowdle, it almost looks like a a 40-40 split with Dowdle, and then an extra 20% coming from Trevor Etienne, the rookie.
Yeah.
But I think he got most of his usage in the last quarter from the blowout. But I don't like the look of it. Dowdle is a decent running back, as you would know, as a Cowboys man.
He's a solid.
So
I think he's a solid backup.
Yeah. So if you can try and move off Hubbard, I'd look to do it now because potentially this could become a split backfield between them two going into the future. And yeah, he's on a terrible offense, not being the workhorse. It's just going to be just a nothing in fantasy. You're not going to be able to start him on the outside of an injury. So before that happens, I'd look to sell.
Yeah, if he's not getting all the carries, then he loses all his value.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
All right, my third and final sell. I've got JCM.
This is a strange one.
Big bill.
Because I nearly had him in my buy section actually.
Yeah, I think this backfield's just going to stay a 3-man committee
for the rest of the year. You reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think this game, Chris Rodriguez had the same amount of carries, had more yards, only by a little bit. So there's not a whole lot of difference. He's sort of splitting hairs. JCM had the 2 receptions, so that's where he's sort of taken off a little bit more points wise. But I could see just being a 3-man committee for the rest of the season. None of those 3 running backs are really popping off. Obviously, Bill had that one big game, and a lot of people were sort of bought in big time. But yeah, I think at the minute, while you still can sell him.
What would you try and sell him for?
I think he's another one bench for a bench player. Yeah. If I'm going to get a Travion Henderson.
Yeah, you'd love that. Yeah, the guy that has him in our league actually asked for Benson or Henderson in exchange for him, as I was asking.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can get one of them, definitely.
But I think Henderson's a much better chance of taking over than Bill.
So I think he will take over, but it's a bit unknown as to when.
Because he was a very late round pick as well.
Yeah.
They didn't put much draft capital into
6th or 7th round pick, yeah.
Yeah, so I think if I'm going to get a Travion Henderson, bench player for a bench player.
Yeah, so actually, I sent an offer of Addison for JCM after the game. Addison.
I'd be happy taking that.
Yeah. Wait, you'd be happy with the Addison side?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I sent Addison for him and he rejected it.
Yeah. See, I'd be happy taking it if my running back depth is looking okay, and especially with buys.
Yeah.
But even then, like if buys are coming up and I've got no running backs, I'm probably hitting waivers then having
I think that's the problem, yeah. And that's one of the reasons I want to do it, is because I've already got 4 startable running backs, but I think potentially during buy season, having that extra startable running back that you can either sell or even just start is definitely something you need. Because if you've only got 2 startable guys and then one of them is on buy, or potentially 2 of them on buy the same week, then yeah, it's an instant loss.
Yeah, I think even at this stage, if I'm going to get a Kareem Hunt, I'm going to trade him for a Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, he's on a good offense, going to get 10 points. JCM, he's a bit, I don't know.
Yeah, I think he will take over, but there's no set timeline on it. Looking at the stats, they're all pretty much the same, but I think if you watch the clips, he does look the better of the running backs. But yeah, for me, he'd probably be more so on the hold list. But yeah, no, that's fair enough. I can understand. We can go on to my next sell.
Next sell.
Yeah, okay, so my final sell, it's a bit of a strange one, but it's Bowers or McBride, so the tight end 1 or 2 to start the year, and I would still have them as 1 and 2 now, but Bowers is probably questionable, and I would sell him for a different position. Potentially, to go start again on that, if you go on waivers, you got a potentially startable tight end, like Hunter Henry was picked up. You might have Zach Ertz out there. Fannin, his role is ever increasing. Brenton Strange, one of our smokies from the tight end video. There's lots of good tight end options out there. If you can convert a Bowers or McBride to a flex position that potentially or hopefully should be scoring more week on week, like one I don't mind is the fat man, Debo. With Terry out, I really like. I'm trying to get him really hard in our league.
Yep.
After laughing at the manager for making a trade for him a few weeks ago, he's looking really solid.
Yeah, he's looking awesome.
Yeah, especially while they figure out their running back room with JCM and the likes. He gets a few carries like that as well.
He's the best running back there.
Yeah, he probably is. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm looking to sell Bowers or McBride for a flex position, or even if you can go to the manager, maybe the Ferguson manager or the Kraft manager after a couple of quiet weeks of Kraft. I'll give you Bowers for Kraft and maybe like an RB2 or wide receiver 3,
Yeah.
just to get a little bit of depth. And you still got a tight end that is probably going to score the same, I would say. But you've got that name value, that draft capital that people, they like jumping at the chance to get it, even if maybe it doesn't make sense now that we're in the season.
No, I agree. Yeah, if you've got someone who values name value over the actual player's stats, then yeah, you probably got a good chance being able to do it.
Yep, agree.
All right.
Okay.
Is that all you had for yourselves?
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. All right. Into the holds then.
Holds, yep. You want to start?
All
It's
right.
someone that we both have.
Yeah, Javonte Williams.
Yep.
So I think I was at the start. I was sort of saying sell him in the first couple of weeks.
I think I was the same. Yeah.
Now I'd say hold him. He is still a bit inefficient, but he's especially against the Packers. He looked really, really good. So I think at the minute with the amount of usage he's getting, doesn't matter if he's inefficient.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If he's going to get goal line carries, if he's going to get 20 carries, 15 carries a game.
And the targets is probably one of the main driving forces as well.
Yeah. So if he's getting all of that, and for where you drafted him, I'd be either holding him. That would be my preference. But if you can go and sell him for a high-end RB2, that's also... If you can go sell him for a high-end RB2,
Like
RB1...
Would you prefer him or Kyron?
I prefer Javonte
to
Kyron.
Okay.
I think Kyron is going to lose his job pretty quick.
You think lose his job?
Yeah, I think Blake Corum's coming in for that job.
I see potentially the split getting bigger and bigger, but I think Kyron will always be the one. He'll be the 2-minute drill, mainly the third down guy.
Yeah, I think Kyron's going to eat into a lot of that work. So yeah, I'd rather Javonte Williams to Kyron Williams at the minute. But if I can go and trade him for a high-end RB2, low-end RB1, I'm definitely going to do it.
So who's maybe a target you're thinking of? Derrick Henry. I doubt the manager would do it, but would you try and get...
Derrick Henry manager he might have a losing record at the minute because of Derrick Henry.
He probably does. Definitely.
He's probably lost because of those fumbles. So there's every chance that he's not happy with Derrick Henry's performances, seeing Javonte's performances. If you can talk him into it, then yeah, that's something I'm going to do. You might need to throw a little bit extra on top.
Yep.
But at the same time, my preference with him hold. But if you get a ripper offer come in, I'd be willing.
You've sort of convinced me a little bit. I'm a hold for Javonte, but I'm not an owner in any leagues that I can think of. I thought potentially it was going to be a big split, not a workhorse role like he's doing. But I'm a Kyron owner. I'm guessing the manager, he does value the draft capital a bit more than he probably should. If I offer him Kyron for Javonte and try and get a little something on top, I think he'd go for it.
Yeah,
I
agree. I'd be doing that. Normally, like I said before, I don't like being on the 2 side in a 2-for-1. But if you can do it,
in our league, I don't mind it because to get a 2-for-1 and be the one, you've really got to pay up. Yeah. Like for example, not to go too far off kilter, I just sold James Cook for Derrick Henry and Brock Bowers, both underperforming obviously, and Cook's looking like a top 5 pick nearly, but it doesn't take much for. I still value Henry and Cook quite similar. Like maybe Cook is RB5, Henry is probably closer to RB10, I'd say.
I think they're both RB1s.
Yeah, but Bowers is a nice make weight.
He's a top 8 tight end, I think. Top 5.
Top 8.
Top 5, yeah. Top 5.
For me, he's still number 2. I think he's going to bounce back. He's just playing for a bit of an injury at the moment. But the part I like is the name value. Straight away, I'm already getting offers. So I like it for that reason. So I'll go on to my hold.
Your first hold?
Yeah, so my first hold is a bit of a funny one. It's AJ Brown and Devonta Smith. I think similar to why I said Barkley is a sell. For me, they're just going to pass it a bit more going into the future. And like they did in week 3, they both popped off. I can see them popping off a bit more, but I would say if you can get 2 pop-off games, that's a funny way. If you can get 2 games in a row, then they're definitely a sell. after that. But yeah, while they're low like now, you definitely don't want to sell them. Yep, that's it. Just a nice simple one for me.
Oh, easy done.
Yep.
All right. My next one, my next hold, Lad McConkey.
Yep. I like it.
I think so. In this last game, he had 6 targets, but he only had 1 reception.
Yeah.
There is a world where he catches all of them and he has a pretty solid day.
Yep.
So there's that. I think he's going to have a decent floor for the majority of the games.
Yeah, I think he's.
But you'd be selling at an all-time low.
Oh yeah,
he's selling now. So yeah, that's why that's the main reason he's a hold.
Yep.
You're selling him for nothing.
Would you start him this next week?
No.
Yeah, I would not either.
Actually, who are they playing?
It's a good question.
Yeah, I think it depends on matchup. Could potentially throw him in my flex. If I've got him as my wide receiver 1 or 2, which you might.
Washington.
I'm starting him.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, in my flex, if I can, you've probably got him as your wide receiver 1.
Or
because he's the end of the second.
Yeah, end of the second, start of the third. So yeah,
so most likely he's got him as your 1,
or at the very least a 2. But your running back room might be looking good.
Yeah. So if he's my 1, concerning, very very concerning. You probably got a losing record.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think his value's too low now to sell. Wait till he has a couple of good games. If you're not liking him, then maybe look to sell. But yeah, I think his value's way too low.
Yeah, I think he's one. Yeah, definitely need to hold until something happens, and if you can get a good game out of him, then try and sell him. It'll probably still be low unless it's multiple in a row.
Yeah,
but yeah, you'll get a little bit more for him.
And I think as well, Keenan Allen. I can't remember the last time he played full season. He's an injury-prone player.
It's exactly
you can't rely on those injuries, but
that's why it's a soft buy for me.
If it does happen, like McConkey's shooting up draft.
Correct, yeah, because I think he complements Johnston very well.
Yep.
It's just the fact that Allen is there taking away a lot of his work.
Yeah, yep. So yeah, I think hold Lad McConkey for the minute.
Yep.
See what happens.
Yep. My next hold is the fat man, Debo. So when I said I don't mind him as a buy actually, but only if you've got a losing record and you need some points on the board now. While Terry is out, he's a very good starting pick. I'd say he's nearly a top 15 receiver based on his workload and his usage. But yeah, if you're an owner, definitely hold. Unless you've got a really good record, you're 4-0, 3-1, and you can move him to a lower team for a Rice, for a Lamb, potentially. If you could do that, I would do that. Otherwise, I'm holding and just banking the points, banking the wins, and then can look to make moves later on.
Yeah, it's funny. So you got Debo as your hold. My next hold is Scary Terry.
Yeah,
right. That's still worked out well.
Yep.
My hold's Scary Terry. I think he's going to come back and he's going to. I think both of these receivers are going to do well, especially when Jaden Daniels is back.
Yeah, I agree. I do worry about him a little bit, but
I think once their starting lineup is healthy, obviously Scary Terry's started off a bit slow, but then he didn't really have much of a preseason. He's dealing with a bit of an injury now. Don't know when he's going to come back. But when that team is healthy, I think those 2 receivers are going to do really well.
Yeah.
So you're probably not going to get much for Scary Terry at the minute. Similar to Ladd, you're probably selling pretty low.
Yep.
You probably want to avoid it if you can.
Yep.
If you can, that's the big thing there. If you can, if you're sort of losing, maybe look to sell.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's shown he's solid. He obviously was due for some touchdown regression.
Yeah.
But he's still pretty solid. So I think, hold Scary Terry.
Yeah, I think he hasn't gone on IR straight away, so that's normally a positive sign. And we've gone through the games now, so if they did put him on IR, he would miss 4 games from now rather than it including the game he's just missed.
Yeah.
So that in theory means he should be back within the next 2 to 3 weeks at least.
Bodes well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And lastly, my last hold is my man, Marvin Harrison. Only because he's had the big week. Obviously, first, as a Cardinals fan, watching that Seahawks game.
The last 5 minutes.
Probably first quarter, second quarter, most of the third, I'd say. Horrid. I hated it. I hated every minute of it. Tough to watch the connection between Murray and Harrison. I thought it would have improved in the offseason, but didn't look like it had. But in that last quarter, he had a couple of good grabs and obviously the touchdown as well. I think hopefully he's turned a corner. If he has another good week, then maybe I'd look to sell, see what I can get. But he's one. I think everyone is laughing at the person that drafted it now. You might need a few good weeks to get something of value. But yeah, for me, he's a hold. If you can somehow get him into your flex rather than your wide receiver 1 or 2, I definitely like doing that.
Yeah. Can't argue with any of that.
Yep.
All right. You want to get into waivers?
Yep, we'll do waivers. Yep. Okay, so we'll get into the waivers now. So I think it's pretty clear who the number 1 is.
Yep. Yeah, we both get the same as our number 1.
Mr. Woodman.
Yep. Woodman.
Yeah.
Mr. Woodman.
Yeah.
You're just giving people's names.
Yeah, Woody Marks. Yeah, potentially
Marks.
He's probably the only one on the list that is going to be a startable guy going forward.
Yeah, 100%. I think he's the only one that's sort of going to have, I think, any potential to have a decent amount of impact.
Yep.
A lot of waiver players over the last few weeks been droppable, pretty much.
Straight away. Yeah, like
Trey Tucker dropped him.
Yeah.
There's been a lot. There's been no Pukas, no Buckies, no.
Johnston.
Yeah. He's shown to be. Yeah. Actually, yeah.
I think Benson, if he was on your waivers, he's going to be a great one, and Woody Marks could potentially be the next guy as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but behind him, I've probably put these 2 guys in the same tier. Is Justice Hill and Kenneth Gainwell. They're just decent handcuffs, and I think particularly Justice Hill, I'd give the edge, mainly because Gainwell's on bye and Warren should be back. But Hill, even in the running back room with Henry, if they're having a bad week and they're losing,
I think they're going to have a lot of those coming up because do you see all the injuries on their defensive line?
Yeah. So if Lamar is out in particular, the next few games he might be a good start as well.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking after the bye, the schedule is really nice. So I think after the bye, he's not going to be that useful because even if they're
missing 6 starters halfway through the game.
I think some of them, unless they're all season ending, I doubt it. But
they all weren't too bad. I think there was a few hamstrings, that sort of thing.
Yeah. A lot of them should be back after the bye, and their schedule after the bye is great. So Justice Hill could be a short play for the next week or 2. But then after that, I don't think there'll be much use. And Gainwell is just going to be a solid handcuff to Jalen Warren.
Yeah, I agree. At this stage, just stashing a few handcuffs is probably a good idea.
Yep.
I agree. Woody Marks was my number 1. I've got a couple of stash players as my next sort of options if I've got it at the bench room.
Yep.
First one's Kendre Miller. Like I said, I think he's going to end up taking over that backfield in a few weeks.
I like that.
You want to get there before that happens.
Yep.
And the second one, Emmanuel Wilson. Josh Jacobs looked like he's picked up a bit of a potential injury. With the bye coming up, he's obviously not going to play. But if that injury does linger into the following week, and you potentially got the Packers starting running back. I think he's a good little stash if you've got the bench room. And Kendre Miller as well, same reason. Good little stash. See what happens.
Agree. I like it. And one actually I forgot to put on my list here, but it's probably because he's rostered in our league. If he's out there, Wan'Dale Robinson, I think he's a great pickup. I'd have him on the same level as Woody Marks. Yeah. Because with Neighbours unfortunately out now, he won't get as good looks because Neighbours really stretches the field, probably attracts at least 1 top defender, if not 2, getting double teamed. He's just going to get so many targets, I think, underneath Wan'Dale. He should have a safe floor of about 10, I'd say, most weeks. Yeah. For example, in Sleeper, I think he's predicted 14 or 15 points straight off the bat.
Yeah, I think he's going to be taken in. I think if it's a competitive league at all, he's probably taken.
Yeah.
If it's 8+ people in the league, if it's less than that, he's probably going to be on waivers. So he's probably worth a look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, other than that, Dobbs just scored the 3 touchdowns, and maybe obviously it's the Cowboys factor.
Yeah.
But also
we made Russell Wilson look good.
Yeah.
So
exactly so. But 3+ touchdowns, and you're still missing Reed, obviously Watson. Maybe he's back
Christian
soonish.
Watson soon to come back.
But they're on bye, so I wouldn't. Yeah, I probably wouldn't go crazy over Dobbs. At least this week anyway.
If you're spending fab on him, I wouldn't. You're not dropping the whole bag on him.
Yeah, and it depends. Like
he's another Trey Tucker.
Yeah, I'm happy with all my bench spot compared to him. I wouldn't drop anything actually. And then I've just got a last one here. for example, someone like me, I've got Caleb Williams on bye this week. So Jackson Dart is an interesting option. The rushing, he had 50 yards rushing and a touchdown, only 111 or something yards passing, but he still got the 18, 19 points. So if his passing goes above that going into the future, then I think he's going to have a very safe floor, and it could be a decent buy feeling. So I think I just want to see the schedule, who they're versing next week. So they got the Saints actually.
That could be a good little streaming quarterback.
Could be a good option, and I'm guessing that means Scatterbo. I'd nearly rank him as a top 12 running back going into this week. Actually,
me too.
Yeah, would like to get him, but not happening. But yeah, that's it. Actually, you got anything else?
No, that's all. I guess we'll thank you to the sponsors.
Yep. Daryl Lock Painting.
Yep, can't do it without him.
Yep. I'll put a picture up of him here. Genghis Khan.
All right.
Good. That's the week over.
That's everything.
All right.
A couple of games tomorrow, but
we won't talk about that.
We won't talk about them ones just yet.
All right. Hope everyone's got a winning record, unlike me.
All right.
And we'll see you after week 5.
Yeah, see you next week.
See ya. Follow the socials.